On an August afternoon, Robert returned from work, unaware fate had other plans. Inside the break room, 2 gunshots rang out, ending the gentleman's life in cold silence. Behind the mask of a perfect marriage, Robert and Sabrina hid dark secrets. Wild late-night parties and risky games slowly eroded the bond they had once built together.
I'm at headquarters with Sabrina Lamone regarding this case. So earlier, you were out at your house and you were going to school and you were detained by some deputies, correct? Okay. Once those deputies basically read your rights, your Miranda warning, you decided you wanted to talk to an attorney, correct? That's what you told them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt overwhelmed and
Overwhelmed, okay. Now, so at that point in time, they transported you to headquarters, or come straight to the jail. And I did have a chance to speak you at the jail. And I need to basically put it on the record that I didn't force you to come here, that you came here because you decided you wanted to talk to me, right? Okay. And I need to read your rights again. Okay, this is standard procedure of what we do, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Okay. Now, before we get started, what we're going to do is, obviously, when this type of stuff happens, we write lots of search warrants and do lots of investigative work, and which I have done in this case, okay? I do have a search warrant to obtain your DNA and to obtain your fingerprints and stuff, okay?
Right.
The DNA is just done by a swab. Basically, I'll have somebody swab. She'll take pictures of you. We'll do it right here. It won't be in public, okay? And then she'll just swab the inside of your mouth and get a little DNA out of it, and we'll use that, obviously, to cross-reference that stuff in the system, okay? So she's coming over now. So we've had multiple conversations up to this date, and today is the 19th of November, and it's about 4:45. Okay, so I know that through this investigation, there's been several times and you haven't been honest with me, and we need to get to the honesty right now, okay?
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I understand you were probably upset and scared, and you didn't know what to say. So,
As trust collapsed, Sabrina turned to alcohol and church for escape. It was then Jonathan, a young, devout firefighter, appeared, offering her the illusion of light in the shadows.
I know a lot of information, and I can't give this information out, obviously, through the investigation, because I do not want that to be revealed, okay? So I know tons of stuff about all of this that's gone on, and I want you to tell me the truth, okay? I need the truth. So let's start out with, okay, so your marriage, did you lie about any of the, you married to Robert, you met him when you were 18, you guys lived in Prescott, moved to California?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So then let's talk about when you started working at Costco. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
How long ago was that?
Was there for almost 3 years.
And do you remember when you started working there?
It was, no, I believe November of 2012.
Okay. In November 2012. So 12 years ago. Okay. So tell me about it. What'd you do there?
I was a demo girl. The samples.
So you do the samples and stuff like that? And did you actually work for Costco or work for an independent person?
It was an independent company contracted through Costco.
Doing the sampling stuff, which I actually always feel really guilty when I grab a sample up at Costco. I'm like, anyway, they're good samples, but anyway, they have nothing.
Otherwise, yeah, how people come there and eat lunch every day.
Sure, that's awesome. So samples. Let's see, they hit sample at the lunch, yeah. Yeah. So I understand you met Jonathan there. And how'd that go? Talk about when you guys first met.
When we first met, it started, he was wearing a firefighter shirt, and I know other firemen, so I'm a people person, so I started talking, and then he came in there all the time. I saw him all the time in Costco.
What was he doing in there?
Shopping.
Shopping?
Yeah.
For the fire department?
He had shopped for the fire department and just shopping.
What? Costco shopping? So you guys ended up becoming friendly? Okay. And this is, when did you meet him? So you started in November. At what point do you think you met?
I don't know. Did I start before November then? Because I want to say I met him in, is it December of 2000? I am being honest. I'm bad with dates. So I can't think of exactly when I had met him, but I'd been working there a little while. So it had to have been maybe into the next year then.
Okay.
Because I'd been there a little while.
So my grade by 13?
Yeah.
And you guys just started up a normal conversation. What kind of conversations did you guys have? Just basic stuff like, hey, where do you work at? This stuff.
Yeah.
What else?
Just, fire department stuff, just like his calls. And, like I said, I'm a people person. I mean, I talk to a lot of people for hours in there, believe it or not. Some people come in there just for the demo girls to.
What other stuff do you guys talk about?
From casual meetings at Costco, their connection deepened. What began as harmless texts soon crossed boundaries, becoming a forbidden love that pulled Sabrina away from her husband.
Life and just, well, if we're going back to him, there was a other party that we were going to, and it was actually other was friends of friends of friends. Okay, so our friends were having a party, and they were fire department people. And so that's what started it. I mean, that's how I gave him my phone number, and I said, oh, do you know this couple? And he said, oh yeah, I think so. Like, are you going to that party kind of thing? And then he's like, well, maybe I'll see you there. Like, what's your name? I had never given out my number to like a stranger before. And I did. I instantly felt guilty, like, oh my gosh. And I had thought prior to that I had mentioned Robert, and I always do. That's like my protection, especially with other, men, like I always brought up Robert right away. So I never done that before. And I felt bad. And, but then he called and messaged me, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like I got myself into, so I didn't answer it or respond. And he apologized. He was like, are you married? I'm so sorry. And then I put, yeah, I thought that you knew that. It's no problem. It's okay. And that's how that started.
And you guys had never talked about you being married? Because you guys talk about life. But do you think?
Well, this was in the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. And then that's when we started, talking about life and more, like a friendship,
Did you feel guilty about that?
The funny thing, after I told him I was married, and he was sincerely and he was sorry. And I felt bad too. I was just like, oh yeah, no worries. It's okay. It's all good. I didn't feel that bad because I'm social. I talk to a lot of people, and I were open. Like Rob he was pretty casual with me.
Okay.
And my relationship with others.
So he was pretty secure, and he wasn't an insecure type. So after you gave him the phone number for the first time, and he knew that you were married, how much did you guys talk after that? How frequently?
It wasn't a lot, in the beginning, and then we just started talking.
Robert sensed something was wrong, yet chose silence and forgiveness. Meanwhile, the fire of forbidden passion between Sabrina and Jonathan grew stronger, too fierce to be extinguished.
A lot more.
Okay.
All
right. Now
we had a relationship.
Okay. We're talking in person and on the phone and stuff like that. How about in the meetings after work? Did you ever meet with him after work?
I would see him, yeah.
Okay.
But just for short, just. So a lot of times he'd come in later and then end up locking out with me, kind of.
So At what point did it become sexual relationship?
Like a year later, so we talked.
So 2014. So this year. Because if you
Before that,
met him in 20,
probably, let's say, probably talked for like, I am honestly super bad with life and date. Let's say, let's just round about 8 months maybe, or 6 months or something like that. Like it wasn't right away, anything like that.
So you said it is about 8 months to a year, and then
Maybe 6 months.
I'm sorry,
Maybe 6 months.
maybe 6 months.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, and so that's when it starts to become a sexual relationship. Did you guys have that relationship at your house, or was it at Costco, or was it at a motel?
It was at our house, and sometimes, wherever.
Okay, and how often do you guys meet up?
A couple times a week, probably.
Okay, and so this was 6 months after. I'm sorry,
Sometimes not. Sometimes like once a week or
just being what was happening.
yeah.
Okay, so this was 6 months after you met, or okay. So if you met in maybe early 2013, I'm sorry, 2014 this year, right? What was it?
No, it's been over a year. So probably like a year and a half time.
Because at the end of 2012 is right when you think you met him, early 2013. Okay, so mid the 2013. Okay,
Yeah.
now basic friendship relationship, sexual relationship, maybe once or twice a week, and then so I mean, it obviously this relationship goes on and on. You guys talk about all kinds of stuff, right? Tell me about did Rob ever suspect anything?
No, Robert had found my phone,
Tell me about that.
and he wasn't. He's like, who's this dude? And he'd seen him out once before. He'd only met him once. So he was just like, what's up? How did this go down? And I just kind of told him like,
When the secret surfaced, Sabrina and Robert tried to mend what was broken, but shattered trust, drunken nights, and silent distance only pushed their family closer to disaster.
I don't know. It just happened, and Jonathan apologized to Robert. He talked to him. He apologized to him, and we felt bad, and I felt bad, and Rob and I just kind of kept going, and Jonathan and I stopped talking. And how long now? I'm in Costco, probably like, let's say 3 months later, something like that. And honestly, detective, like, I'm so bad with time. It could have been give or take, or but it was a little while, and I hadn't seen him.
When did Rob find out, and do you remember when it was, what month it was? Or about what time? Because this is going to be in 2013 you found out, right?
June.
In June of 2013? And what happened that day? And how did when he found out about it? What was going on?
He was going to have the next day off. We had been out the night before, and I kind of had too much to drink.
Oh.
And I wasn't paying attention to my phone. So we'd been out the night before, and he'd already take the next day off, and he just kind of, like, we had, I hate talking about this. This is why I didn't, I know. Like, Rob and I just had sex. Like, he kind of like forgave me. It was kind of like okay. And he'd ask me questions, And
In their small home, they clung to forgiveness and silence. But beneath the fragile peace, darkness lingered, preparing to drown everything in a cold-blooded plan.
I just kind of would answer them as he asked, but then we didn't talk about it. He didn't like, um to be in like problems,
Now, when he asked you this question, did you tell him the truth or did you just tell him a little bit of information?
A little bit, not in like detail, but I would answer his questions, and I seriously didn't. I was just like, I don't know how it happened, like I did tell you, we were distracted with so many things, friends and partying, and we have had open relationships. I threw that at him, so this was prior, and parties and just kind of like that kind of a lifestyle, more life. Now the kids weren't exposed to that firsthand. They were they were exposed to me drinking, like too much. Mom's sleeping, doesn't feel good, kind of thing.
Right. Kind of, we've talked about your open relationship before, and you told me you didn't have one.
I was dreading. I didn't want any of this to come out,
Did you think this would ever come out?
Sabrina confessed her marriage with Robert once sank into wild parties and open relationships. She drowned in alcohol, excusing her mistakes by blaming the shadows of the past.
I've been tripping, I've been, it's shameful. It's terrible. And I'm feeling it.
Right. I understand. Did you guys have an open relationship, but as you would meet other people at parties and stuff and have sexual encounters? Or was it? Okay, it was. Okay.
And that was just kind of like a Rob and I thing we had years ago. There was this couple, and that's where it started. We'd never done anything like that,
Right.
And we were new to Silver Lakes. Robbie was in kindergarten, and yeah, we met this kooky couple. I mean, the chick for sure, the woman, and but I am a people person. So is Robert, and that was just a crazy experience with her and her husband,
What are their names?
Nicole and Dill.
Oh, okay.
Had you heard about them or no?
No.
Well, they had lived out there, so Robbie was in kindergarten, and he's 11 now, so.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But that's where the door opened, and Robert was, I hate to talk about him, Ellie, because I don't want to dishonor him. I feel like this is such a dishonor to him. But
He was a man.
yeah, so he was all about it, to the end of like whatever we had to do. And this went on, and oh my gosh, I never had such troubles, And I told Robert, like, we should not get in too deep with these two, Well, they're divorced now. But it's just kind of one of those things. So it just kind of turned into like, it's just sexual, Brina, kind of thing,
Yeah.
But then, like, I know he liked that kind of stuff online, and just pretty much with any.
In her drunken loneliness, she recalled Nicole and Dill, the couple who drew them into reckless nights. From that moment, betrayal's door opened, and it could never close again.
That was kind of just then. It was just kind of like, well, Brina's cool with it, So
Did him having any other relationships, like outside of your marriage, without you knowing?
no, she was one that out,
Okay.
she was the only one that I knew. That's why I was wondering too if there was.
And I was honest with you. I don't know of any other relationships. Okay.
Okay.
So did you think it would be okay? I mean, with Rob, if you were seeing Jonathan because, you guys kind of had that open relationship? Or did you feel...
I guess that's how I justified it, It's kind of like I was just feeling like my own thing, and he was so busy, and he was a just worker and people pleaser and party and not wanting anything to be amiss, even though by the end, I just talked to him. We have to kind of refocus some things, and he wasn't. Now Robert would have done anything, as far as in the moment, just okay, no problems. He didn't like me to be upset.
Oh. Okay.
So, and I didn't get upset a lot at him because he just kind of let me get away with quite a bit, and was kind of like the leash, he'd let my leash out, and then I'd run down the street, and then he'd kind of choke it out. Yeah.
Left the buddy go, pull you backward then? Okay. So this relationship with Jonathan just kind of progressed, huh? Started out with just casual talking to giving the phone number, and then to the sexual stuff.
Into an actual affair in my head, really. I mean, after talking to your partner on the way over, it's just like when the other three guys, they say, I mean, it felt different. Like, well, no. But like when he was saying it, it's just like, man, what a web, I just spun it.
And it happens, and it easily happens.
I have such a good family. I'm like, it's just like, you can't believe this happened.
Right.
And then like it, to think that like, that is who I've brought around and have had around, and I just, wow, I mean, we got deep.
He and Jonathan.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob's going to work, and then he's working overtime shifts and stuff, and Jonathan would be at your house
Sometimes.
late at night when the kids were sleeping or whatever.
Not always, or yeah, if they were gone.
Oh.
Not always. I mean, I didn't want to.
Jonathan appeared, unlike anyone around her, intelligent, devout, raised under strict rules. That contrast pulled Sabrina in, and the forbidden bond grew deeper with each passing day.
My kids, I love them so much, Detective Myra.
Right.
I didn't want to. But once is once too many,
Well. So Jonathan, what did you learn about Jonathan while you guys were dating?
A lot. I mean, I did. I fell in love with him, a lot of things I learned about him. Lots. Yeah. What do you want to know?
With everything.
Well, he was like no one I'd ever met before. Very different than the social group that, we were. Smart guy. Really. He's a Christian.
Mm.
He grew up really religious, and a family of 6. Like super, he was homeschooled.
Mm.
And that's a whole different, and just finding out the depth of like how obviously different. That's a whole nother lifestyle.
Sure.
Completely.
It's definitely different with the schooling and kind of the separation from general public type thing. Going to a, being homeschooled, you don't get a lot of exposure,
Just everything is so different.
And were you attracted to that?
Apparently, yeah. I mean, yeah. There was just something that was just really, and I mean, I saw things that, there were times where I would just pull back the reins and like, hey, it's, I have my family and I'm doing my thing and, you're doing your thing. So, and we would end up colliding again, and not all, it wasn't just like the sexual, like, let's meet over here. It wasn't like that. Like there was a, and so.
Though Robert knew about Jonathan, he chose silence and forgiveness. Sabrina, however, surrendered to the affair, claiming it was only a way out of her suffocating life.
Huh. Okay. Did Rob say anything to you after Jonathan talked to her?
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
He's just like, it's cool.
He said it was cool to you or cool to Jonathan?
To both of us. Jonathan wanted to meet with him.
Did they meet?
Mm-mm.
No. Just over the phone? When do you think that phone conversation happened?
What do you think?
Do you know when it happened?
Oh, when it happened? Gosh. I'm so sorry. Like, honestly, my brain, I can't even.
That actually helps sometimes if you squint your eyes really tight.
Yeah. Especially me. I just like try to think of like people's birthdays or like something to tie in. Like,
so let's think about when he found out about Jonathan, when Rob found out about Jonathan. About 6 months after you guys were talking. Is that about the time when he found the phone and all that, about the time they had their conversation? Okay.
Let's say yes. I mean, seriously, I don't even know.
All right.
Let's say yes.
Okay. Okay, so the relationship continued, you guys are seeing each other. Did you ever think about maybe getting divorced? Or Rob? Or did he ever talk to you about the divorce?
Who?
Jonathan. About like trying to encourage you to get divorced or anything like that?
We had talked about divorce. I would say within like the past, let's say, 4 or 5 months, maybe.
You and Jonathan or you and Robert? Have you and Robert ever discussed divorce before?
Yes.
Okay. How long ago was that?
For like within, but it was like partying, too much drinking, kind of thing, and then Rob, it'd be all good the next day,
Yeah. He said Rob didn't drink a whole lot, huh?
Not as much as I did. He liked to party, but he would definitely be one with at least with some wits about him.
Okay. Can you tell me what you and Jonathan's conversations, what you guys talk about when you're talking about divorce?
It's kind of like how, how tough it is, in the beginning, but, in the end, kind of.
When the secret became too heavy, divorce seemed an option. But drowned in alcohol, hollow promises, and faith, that plan vanished, leaving behind only more tragedy.
It plays out to be, people do it every day kind of thing,
And what is Jonathan's take on divorce? Because we know he's very religious. Did he feel it was okay?
No. No, I mean, you would say it's, it's not what God wants, but people do it every day kind of thing. So I think we kind of played with the thought more than like, he was gonna have a house built. So like he had these plans, but they were like future. So we just kind of talk about just like more nothing like tomorrow kind of a thing, nothing like, well, in the next 6 months when you're divorced or when, kind of thing. So we were just kind of rolling the dice. I mean, like playing the, and then we had gotten a burner phone to talk on Shaple and Rob Scott now, and I have to live with that. And it freaks me out, like
That crazy.
way crazy.
What do you think about the burner phone? Who introduced the burner phone? Whose idea?
Jonathan got it for me. I mean, I'll take response. I don't, both of ours.
Who paid for the minutes and stuff on it all the time?
He did.
Okay. I mean, it just makes sense that you wouldn't have to pay for it on your guys' account, so then it wouldn't just Rob become suspicious of money. Yeah, that's when I figured. Where'd you hide it at and keep it hidden from Roy?
Just kind of like in the drawers and
Okay.
Jonathan bought Sabrina a secret phone to stay in touch. Over 1,600 texts swelled to 6,000 in weeks around Robert's murder, laced with coded language drawn from scripture.
had a basket done. I know that's terrible, Randall. That's terrible.
I know. So once this rubber phone comes into play, did you feel guilty about having it? Shameful, anything?
There would be moments of feeling bad. Yeah. And Rob and I would go do everything together. So like in moments, just him and I, which we did everything together, but we had the kids with us. So like when it was, or always spreads, always. So, and always tricky. So when, when it was just him and I, there were times where like I gotta try to be a little more honest. I'm not saying like, here's the deal, But I mean, he was aware of, things not being quite perfect.
Sure.
And me being distracted, but he was also distracted, I'm not blaming.
Yeah. What was he distracted with?
He was distracted with everything. And I know he did like to get on websites. He is distracted with his phone a lot. People. Just hit me worked a lot.
And then you were distracted with Jonathan, with the thought of that relationship continuing and growing and all that stuff.
I was just living in it, It was just kind of like juggling it,
So you said that they never met, right? They never had an actual meeting?
We had gone out one time, and it was just like a huge group of people that were going.
That was out of the March Madness. I know all about it.
That's the
I've read all about it. I know, everything all about it.
So you know me.
I know everything. I've lived your life for the last 3 months. That's why you can't lie to me. I know all this stuff. So it's better just to be honest with you.
You say it's so cute. Other guys were a little rougher. So
well, I'll say have a different personality than the most.
Inside the interrogation room, Sabrina was torn between shame and fear. She admitted the forbidden love had consumed her, and now Robert was gone, darkness swallowing everything whole.
So I feel like I know you intimately, and I mean I know so much about your life and everything, and Rob's life, and just all your friends. But so they met at March Madness at the bar, and I actually have a picture with everybody in it, and Jonathan's in the picture. So I want to talk about moving forward just a little bit, because that March Madness was this year, right?
I worked in my brain. It's like the circuits don't connect. Like you tell me, detective, because sure.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
All right. How did you, Jonathan, so were you actually talking about getting divorced and you guys being together? Did you guys make a decision to do that, or were you moving forward, or no?
We talked about it, and we were living. It wasn't, like I said, there were no dates, or there was no, he was going to build a house and kind of establish himself, for sure.
He's a youngster, huh? How old is he?
25.
25. Okay.
Which I know I'm not. Now, what kind of a girl can I really even say that I honestly am, besides a mess? But I am not one of those that like, oh, look at that young guy, the girls that, you have a brand new, she'll be 40 and she was just dating a 20-year-old, and she has a daughter who's...
I'm not judging.
And we're like, we kind of were just like, but he was such a...
Sabrina tried to justify her affair with Jonathan, claiming he was an old soul. She insisted she hadn't been chasing a younger man, only falling into something she never expected.
We were like, what is going on here? This is just, hey, and I drank through it. And I tried to make it feel comfortable, I mean...
Yeah.
I listened to some Blime and like tried to be 20 and get up with him, but no, Jonathan was different. He was not, oh my gosh, he's like an old soul,
Okay.
kind of thing,
Still kid at heart, but he probably, because he homeschooled, he was a lot around his parents and stuff, and so they probably brought him up differently than what you would if you were going to a general public school. I'm not judging you for dating that 25-year-old.
I understand. I'm just saying that like that wouldn't be one thing. Like I wasn't after anything. I didn't even know I didn't even know it was actually possible, just because Rob and I had a good marriage. There were some things that we allowed in that I feel damaged us. And I would tell him that, and he wouldn't hear it.
So let's talk about maybe a couple months prior to Rob's death.
Okay.
How did you and Jonathan talk about this?
We'll talk about his what?
About his death.
We didn't talk about his death.
Okay. You guys didn't talk about it at all?
We would, no, we talked about, divorce and, like if anything was to happen to Robert, not gunshots, not that.
I noticed there was a bunch of conversations, obviously before Rob was murdered, during and after he got murdered.
Detectives pressed her about Robert's final days. She admitted sharing his schedule with Jonathan, revealing work shifts and locations, clues that later aligned with the murder.
How did Jonathan know that Rob was going to be working in Tehachapi?
Well, he wasn't supposed to be working in Tehachapi, but I did tell him.
While denying that she and John discussed Robert's death prior to it happening, notice that she takes out a tissue to wipe her nose, and unlike before, she holds it against her face for a long period of time. She then grabs more tissue and covers more of her face, before resting her head in her hand. These are all examples of face-shielding behaviors, and partially covering the face, especially the mouth, is often a nonverbal indicator of shame, guilt, or embarrassment, such as one feels when they're caught in a lie or trying to lie effectively. Covering the face is also a common defense mechanism when someone feels threatened or cornered, and is demonstrated by people who may be subconsciously trying to hide from the situation or distance themselves emotionally. Before now, her hands were resting comfortably in her lap, but watch as she continues to cover her lower face as the conversation progresses.
I would tell him his schedule, you know. I would tell him, I'd even give him dates and stuff like that, because his schedule was crazy too. And then if it was times where like it didn't work out for us to get together, you know, but I kept him up posted pretty much.
Now, I noticed before when Rob left for work the morning, let's talk about the 17th, okay? Rob left for work in the morning, and I noticed that you had an 80-minute conversation with Jonathan. What are your thoughts about?
Talked about church, I believe, and he had worked, and he was pretty thrashed from work. But what he was gonna do that day, we'd even talked about seeing each other, but I was getting the kids ready for school, and it was just not gonna work out. And I think even maybe, and I don't know, other days Rob was going to work because he wasn't supposed to work that day.
Yeah. So do you guys talk about Rob going to work, and then you get the kids ready for school and all that drama?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had told him, but like I said, we were possibly going to get together, but he was doing other stuff, and I had been at work for, I think, days prior, like 3 days or something like that.
Well, as a fireman, they really don't work, but they sit on the couch, they play a little Xbox, shine the truck, mow the lawn, cook dinner, you know.
Phone records painted a chilling pattern. Hours of calls, nonstop texts, and silence at the exact moment Robert was killed. Their communication was anything but normal.
All that kind of stuff come on, but Amy.
I know he did say he was pretty thrashed.
For a 26-year-old, come on. He's got more energy than that.
I remember him being tired.
Okay.
So feeling good.
Did he tell you that he was going to go talk with Rob that day? Nothing at all?
Nothing at all. No.
No indication that he was going to go see Rob?
No.
What the hell?
Done.
After you guys' 80-minute conversation that ended at afternoon, you texted Jonathan seven different times with no response back. He didn't text you back. What were you thinking?
He was sleeping.
That's it. So you thought of yourself?
Yeah, think so.
Okay.
Did I click that? I don't remember.
I don't know. After those 7 messages, it was late in the evening, where I wasn't showing up at home, and you called and talked to Jonathan. He finally texted you back and called you. What did you guys talk about?
He said he was sorry that
For what?
he'd been sleeping and he missed my calls. And we just talked about, I don't even remember what we talked about, but I said Rob's not home yet. I was kind of looking out for Rob and trying to get the kids together. So it was just kind of like typical, you know. He didn't. And I even tried calling him back. I remember one time, just quick, because Rob still wasn't home.
Did he seem to act normal?
Yeah, he said he was really sorry for not being around. He feels bad for missing my calls. But 7?
7 phone calls or 7 text messages you sent him. Morgan, say I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, I don't remember.
So he was sorry for missing your phone calls. And it's pretty common for you guys to, as soon as a text message goes, there's usually a message right back pretty quickly, huh?
Yeah, I mean, not like a whole, like not like 5 hours or something.
Yeah, it's not going to be 5 hours. It's usually pretty quickly.
While Sabrina denied knowing, evidence closed in. Jonathan's timeline matched perfectly. Bike rides, clothing changes, gas stops, all pointing straight to the shop where Robert died.
So he seemed pretty normal?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he give you any indication that he may have gone and saw Rob or talked to Rob and anything like that?
No.
Go see Rob. And I think now you probably can know that.
It's so hard for me.
What else?
That's unbelievable to me. Like, I seriously would feel like there's no way that he'd be capable of that.
How come?
I just feel like he would never want to live. I mean, just like, I can't imagine that, you know? I just didn't think he could do something like that, you know? So in that video, in the picture you sent me, that was him.
That was Jonathan, huh?
You know, the bike, it's hard to tell that one for sure. And even the liquor store lights, it looks like a young, like a teenager to me, but I can't really make it out, you know?
Video is a lot better in person. I know it's Jonathan. He drives detached me.
Detectives revealed the truth. Jonathan waited, confronted Robert, and pulled the trigger twice. He fled, cleaned up, then called Sabrina as if nothing had happened.
He checks to see if Rob's there. Rob's not there. He leaves. He comes back, and he waits for Rob to come drive to the property.
You're sure?
I'm positive. 100%.
How do you know for sure? I mean,
I had lots of evidence. He goes in the shop. They get in an altercation. He shoots Rob twice. He gets on his bike, his motorcycle. He leaves. He changes clothes. Goes to the gas station. Gets some water, gets some gas. Drives home. Gets home. Sees your text messages. Calls you, texts you.
what do I say to that?
I don't know. Did you guys ever talk about it?
We've talked about it a lot.
I've heard a lot of your conversations.
A lot. I mean, I just like had this full, like when it happened, I cannot believe it. You know, like, so I hear this, and the other detective said, like, you know, I text him right away. I feel like I didn't even, I know that I did let him know what was going on.
With Rob being at work.
At work, and then after he was murdered.
Uh-huh.
After I found out,
What Jonathan said?
he was so he couldn't believe it. He was so sorry. Who did this? How could this have happened? Was it, you know what? There was so, like, that all is a true blur, you know? Because I was just like, I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. But in my head, there always hasn't, like, if affair what's to come out, that would look really bad, you know, kind of thing.
So I've heard you talk to Jonathan more than I would have liked to have.
Cornered, Sabrina clung to denial. She admitted Jonathan never said it directly, but his behavior, their coded talks, and his fears of DNA told a darker story she couldn't escape.
I've heard multiple conversations. Hundreds. At what point did you realize that Jonathan did this?
I haven't, he's never told me that he has done this
He never told you that?
in words. I didn't want to hear that, you know? I don't want to hear that.
I need you to tell me the truth.
He never told me in words.
Okay, so how has he told you then? If not in words?
Just by behavior. Like, not, he hasn't, you know, just behavior. Like, we have to, things we kind of have to do. With the detectives, just to kind of keep our affair under wraps because of how, you know, you guys could set him up, could set me up, lie, you know, looking for somebody, something. So I'm just like, okay,
So he never actually told you that he killed Rob?
no. He never said he killed Rob.
But you think that he had done it in other words or other actions?
Well, just as we're talking, you know, he's like, well, it could be me in that video. It could be me. I'm like, well, it's not you. It's like, well, they could place me there, me getting gas somewhere else, you know, and putting me, you know, and that's the video that he's showing you. He could be saying this or that, and I didn't know what you were. I didn't know either, like what you knew or what was really going on, you know. And so I was just thinking maybe you would find somebody. You would find somebody through, you know, DNA. It's like, okay, how does this DNA stuff work? Okay, good. And I told him DNA, and he's like, good, that's good. He found DNA, that's good. But I mean, he wouldn't ask, well, what, you know, we would talk about it. We talked about all of it in length.
When did he tell you he was nervous about his DNA being at the scene?
No.
No?
Nervous about his DNA being at the scene.
Or at the shop there?
No. He'd said, you know, DNA, like, it's not like a for sure. You can, like, you know, DNA could be explained, things like that, you know. So.
I need you to be totally honest with me, okay? Because I know a lot of information about this. So, Rob gets the call Saturday and says he's gonna work for John Justice. He's gonna work for John Justice, and then he goes to leave for work in the morning. You and Jonathan both had conversations.
Step by step, investigators dismantled her lies. Sabrina had given Jonathan details of Robert's overtime and the shop's location. Whether spoken or implied, the trap was already sealed.
Before that, before he went to work, and then after, or when he was gone, when he went to go driving, and you told Jonathan that Rob was working overtime.
And to be up there all day.
Okay. And did he know where the shop was at?
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
How do you believe?
I told him where Rob works. I'm like, oh, it's in Tehachapi. I asked him if he was familiar with Tehachapi ever. Like we discussed the town and the shop.
You told him where the shop was at? Off the freeway right there?
I'll say yes, I have.
My question is, what I need to figure out so we can move forward is, how did he know that the shop was there? So you told him. Did you give him the address or anything?
No, I don't know the address.
Okay.
I just kind of explained how it is, don't you know? And we had talked, yeah. I mean, he inquired on before, like, we talked a lot, you know, so you're like, yeah, Rob's attributes like this, you know, kind of like what he did, and calls he went on, I would tell him.
Okay. So you talked to him in the morning, and
Sabrina revealed Rob's work and shifts. What seemed harmless turned into crucial details, giving Jonathan exactly what he needed to craft his deadly plan.
Normal. I mean, it was just normal.
what I mean, you talked to him and you told him that Rob was going to work, right? Why'd you tell him he was going to work?
Just so we could talk and possibly see one another, but talk, probably. I don't know, like, because it was like, oh, because Tehachapi's gone longer, you know?
What do you mean?
Like, they're 12-hour shifts, not 8-hour shifts. And then drive time, and sometimes he'd work over, you know? So it's like it's an all day. He's gone all day. All night, so.
So you told him this so you'd have the opportunity to see Jonathan?
Yeah, if he was available, if it worked out, or to like talk, to be able to know that it's not a time limit, as far as like it's a longer time limit, you know.
Before Rob would get home, you couldn't talk anymore.
Yeah. He just.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I have to believe that there was more going on than that. Just the conversation that I want
For that day?
Yeah. Like, anyway, hey, because you guys have already talked about divorce. You talked about being together. I mean, there has to be some more conversation going on about.
I promised you, detective, we talked about church. No, it wasn't like I'm going up to Tehachapi to, you know, take care of Robert.
You guys didn't talk about that?
No. I promise you that.
You lied to me before, though.
I know. I understand. I understand. But no, I can say no. And that's the truth. No, we did not. I want to say we hadn't really talked I want to say that. But once again, I can't be held to anything, because I could have said it was a 10-minute conversation and it was an 80, you know, and.
Jonathan appeared near Rob's workplace multiple times. His presence wasn't coincidence, but the product of months of cold, calculated preparation.
I don't know, but I do know that we didn't talk about, like, how to get to the shop, or, you know, to have to at all.
He already knew how to get to the shop, though, pretty much. You know, he had actually gone up there before.
He have?
He went up there in June and scoped it out. checked it out, drove by. So he was planning this.
In June.
So he drove up there, looked around, checked it out, and was putting this plan together. After the death of Robert.
This is bad.
Did you suspect that he was up there snooping around?
Mm-mm.
So how were your guys' conversations after the death of Robert? The following couple days?
You know what? All over the place. Stressful. Hard. There were times where I felt like he wasn't understanding up to what was going on.
He didn't understand.
There were moments I felt that way, you know.
I'm just trying to get an idea of what his demeanor stuff was like after he murdered Robert. How it changed.
It didn't. It really didn't. I mean, he's been stressed out, for sure.
And that stress has been induced by what?
By detectives and a murder investigation, you know. So we're going to be, you know, kind of like spotlight because we've had a relationship, you know. And I'm like, gosh, how is this going? But then as I have kind of like really, I feel like I felt God carrying me through this hard time, you know, and finding strength to.
Inside Jonathan's home, police found a chilling letter laced with religion. He believed he was God's tool, chosen to rescue Sabrina from a sinful marriage.
Just want to take care of my kids and not drinking anymore, not going out, not like this whole different, like from how I was living. Yeah, to actually complete opposite.
You know, I think that that Jonathan feels like he was saving you from that. That he was saving you from your lifestyle. And in turn in that, he was, you know, doing good. You know? And an affair is not, it's not a big deal. All this stuff that Jonathan has been preparing for is concealing the murder of Robert. All this stuff he's gone through, he's sick to his stomach because he knows that detectives are going to be banging on the door at the fire station, wanting to talk to him. It's not about an affair. This is about him murdering Robert. And he knows that. That's why he's sick to his stomach. Calling in sick, he can't make it to work, getting people to cover his overtime shifts because it's not about the affair. You know what I mean? It's about him murdering your husband.
Sabrina had no reaction when an average person would have shown some kind of response.
And I know you said that you kind of told her that he works at the place at Ashby. It's off the freeway. Why would you tell him that?
We had talked about like what Robert does and just like how, you know, I can't think of, I mean, a couple things like come to my head. I don't know. There was like an RV, they build like motorhomes. I remember that. And
When questioned, Sabrina insisted she only spoke casually about her husband's job. Yet those casual words gave Jonathan the map to target his victim.
He just asked what Rob does up there. I'd come back with all the things. Rob would come home with stories. I would share them. And so he'd asked a little bit,
What do you think he was asking?
It was kind of like in conversation. It wasn't weird.
Probably curly let me. I would never ask, why.
Well, it didn't seem weird in the conversation.
If I was in your shoes, I would, if I was in your whole relationship shoes and everything, and looking for divorce or whatever, I would give that location to Jonathan if I knew Jonathan had made plans prior to meet up with Rob. That's why I would have told, hey, he works for Tad Street, the building's on the freeway, next to the motorhome place, if I knew they were going to go meet.
He never planned on meeting him at Tehachapi that he ever told me.
Where were they going to meet at,
Like he wanted to have lunch or like somewhere in town or something like that.
Yeah, because I would go have lunch with some guy that was sleeping with my wife. You know what I mean? That's not rational for people. If somebody that, hey, it won't go well. It'll end up in an argument and then possibly a debt. Anyway,
Not anything of it. Robert didn't want to meet with him, and he just wanted to apologize. He said,
tell me what you think about this.
that I don't know. And he has a motorcycle, but I'm not too, I know it has writing on the side.
Forgiven.
Yeah. Is that on there? Yeah?
He's changed the appearance a little bit. He changed the exhaust. And once he started feeling like we were going to come talk to him about this murder, not about an affair, we got video of him getting rid of it.
He doesn't have any merch?
No, we have it.
I asked him yesterday if his bike was running.
Evidence mounted. A hidden motorcycle, clothing matching the killer's description. Jonathan not only prepared, he concealed with chilling precision.
I need you to tell me more. I know you know a lot more that you're telling me. You're not going to be able to just forget about this. This guy murdered your husband in cold blood.
I can't believe it. And I was tripping that they had John. I didn't know if this was real. Like it might not be real. These might not be actual videos. Like it might be set up. And he said, why I can't.
Why would I set that up?
Setting us up.
I wouldn't set you up.
Yeah. But in my head, like I'm just tripping. I don't know.
So why would you ask him if the bike are still running?
I don't know why I asked that. Just like, are you riding your motorcycle kind of thing? That's what I meant. Is it even running?
So then you kept watching the video of the store. And he asked you if it looked like him. And what did you say? What did you think?
I thought that was weird.
Yeah. You thought it was weird that he asked you that? And what did you think about the picture? The video I sent you, did you think it looked like him? I mean, you've slept with this guy. I was getting a Gatorade out of the refrigerator. And I got into a fight.
A fight?
Yeah. A physical fight. A struggle over the gun. And then pow.
The crime scene showed Rob fought for his life, but Jonathan's bullets prevailed, stealing a husband and father to claim his place within that family.
And then another one.
Robert was so strong. Like, this is so crazy because it's like,
Very strong. And Jonathan wasn't as strong at the time. He's pretty strong now.
why?
Why is he strong now? Because he's taking steroids. I can tell from the crime scene photos and stuff that there was a struggle. So Rob's fighting for his life. And this fucking douchebag is killing him. Because he wants you and your kids. He wants to be Rob. He wants to be Rob.
I don't want to believe that, you know? It's not about that. It's just, I can't believe that.
It's terrible. It's sad to take these kids' father away from them. Took their father away from them because he wanted to be Rob. Terrible. So I need to get some clarification on a few things. Back before Rob got murdered, okay? But before we talk, I want to let you know that you have to be totally honest with me.
Okay.
This is so freaking serious. I can't tell you how serious this is.
Okay. I gotcha. I'm with you.
If you're lying to me, it's going to be very difficult for you. Before the marriage, or before the death of Robert, you guys have had conversations, multiple, 7,333 conversations. April 15th when you got the burner phone. Got the burner phone on April 15th. From April 15th to September 1st, there were 7,333 phone calls, text messages. I've done my homework. Okay. You guys have had to have some sort of conversation discussing your unhappiness in your marriage and your divorce or possible divorce. And then at what point did Jonathan say that he could probably take care of it for you?
He never said he could take care of it. That was like, no, like we could be together, you know, and live for God.
So he said we could be together and live for God. What did you think about that?
The darkest truth emerged. Sabrina was complicit. She once received a vial of poison, planning to lace Rob's favorite banana pudding.
I just kind of lived, you know. I thought I would think about it, but it was like I was living like two lives, you know. So
a life with Robert and then a life with Jonathan.
in a way, yeah.
And whenever he would talk to you,
I would go along, you know,
I'm sorry, what?
we talk about things, you know, and being together, the kids, talk about the kids, raising the kids. We talked about that a lot. How sadly things were being done, you know, like.
So he's saying you were a bad parent and Rob was a bad parent? Because he obviously knows he's 26 years old and he, you know what I mean?
He never, felt so foolish.
Huh?
I felt foolish. I'll say maybe a month or 2, maybe 3.
Did you know that he had planned to murder your husband?
Yeah.
You planned this whole thing because you know that if your husband's working for the railroad at the time when the railroad he's on duty and he gets killed on duty, that there's a lot of motivators there for money. $300,000 life insurance plus another 50 grand. Plus the possibility of the railroad coming in and going,
No,
hey, we'll pay you off.
Detective Randall Roberts, I don't care about money. Money.
The plan unraveled when Sabrina hesitated at the last moment. Still, the motive was clear. Blind love, insurance money, and a crime beyond forgiveness.
Oh, Kenny would tell you, Cal, I don't care about money.
If I was in your shoes right now, I wouldn't care about money either. I would care about my survival.
Yeah.
Not going to prison for the rest of my life. That's what I would care about.
Yeah, of course.
I don't give a shit about money. That's why I work. I'm a cop. I don't care about money. It's money. It does make the world go round, but it's not everything.
The detective is
You have an affair.
Yeah.
You have a motivator for money. Right? This looks terrible.
Yeah.
And there's a murder, continuing affair, and people lying to conceal the affair and to conceal the murder.
Yeah. I can see how that looks really, really bad. You're definitely.
So what's Jonathan going to tell me?
Oh,
Detectives pressed Sabrina. Money, affair, motive. Everything pointed to conspiracy. They warned Jonathan might claim she orchestrated Rob's murder from the start.
I had no idea. I have no idea what he's going to tell you.
Because apparently he hasn't asked for a lawyer. He wants to talk to me. You know what usually happens in these cases? One person tells me that, in this case, Jonathan's going to tell me that you started a whole issue and you talked him into it. You know what I mean? That's what that's probably what he's going to say. He's probably going to tell me that
I can't. Well, that wouldn't be true.
he's lied before.
I can't imagine.
He's lied about
Imagine him saying,
the motorcycle. He's lied about talking to Robert 3 other times before the murder. He lied about murdering Robert, driving over there to Tashbeen, committing the murder.
He talked to Robert 3 other times.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a liar. But he thinks it's okay to lie because he's forgiven for his sins. He'll repent for the sins he's committed. He thinks he's going to be okay. Nope. It's not okay. You can't describe a committed murder and then just think that you're doing God's work. You know, think that I'm doing the work of God because he wants me to save her from her sins. And then think it's okay. He paid cash for the stuff he bought because he knew. This is one of my partners, Detective Brewer.
How you doing, Kevin Brewer?
Hi, Kevin.
He was talking with
Evidence mounted. Surveillance, lies, and the motorcycle all tied to Jonathan. Detectives told Sabrina, you knew. You set this up. She denied, but doubts deepened.
with Jonathan.
And yeah, I did the puff from Robert. Started alongside Jonathan before him now. I got a couple questions for you about your consops. Sabrina, after talking to Jonathan and looking at this, I mean, I helped him with this case for a long time. It looks like there's 2 people at fault, not just you.
I don't think you pulled the trigger, did you?
And all Jonathan did. When did he tell you that it was him in that video?
Yesterday.
When?
Yesterday.
We didn't tell you before that?
No.
What did you think when he told you that's him in the video?
Well, he had seen the video, but he said it could be me. He said.
What? Where could that be? I'm confused here.
We've just talked a bunch about, he's just said that, detectives can say and do anything that they want.
Did you ask him how that could be him in that video?
I did.
What did he say?
He said that it could be a picture of him at another gas station.
Did you ask him what he was doing in that gas station? Halfway to where your husband was murdered?
From what how I took it, was like another gas station, another place, I said, why would they want to do that? How would they want to put?
Did you see the picture of Jonathan on the motorcycle?
Yeah, it's right there.
Do you have any trouble figuring out that's Jonathan? Because frankly, everybody else that knows him that's seen it, you have to know that we floated that to them, have all had no problem with it. And I think you would know him more than any of them, really.
Yeah.
You have any problem with that, picking that out as Jonathan?
No.
You know anybody else that looks like that has a motorcycle like that would have a reason to kill your husband?
No.
Who else could it be?
No. I said he'll be someone else.
And frankly, Sabrina, I've sit on a lot of wiretaps, and I know we've been listening to you for a while.
Yeah.
I've sit on a bunch of the 33 years I've been doing this. And I can tell you that the conversation between you two is not covering up an affair.
Well, that's what
You've already told people about your affair long before this. There was no reason to keep this a secret. Keep it from who?
Oh, I haven't told anybody.
What did you have?
What did I tell?
You've told people, and so has Jonathan. What?
A shocking twist. Friend Jason turned in Jonathan's voicemail of guilt. Suddenly, the secret lover was on police radar, and Sabrina's excuses began to collapse.
But what about knowing? At what point did you think we knew about Jonathan? How do you think we found out about Jonathan?
Phone records.
From what?
From the phone record.
No, we have to have probable cause to get search warrants to get the phone records.
I didn't know.
He told people about you. He's been told to stay away from you, and you know that. Tell me what I think. When your secret boyfriend finds out exactly where your husband is in a different county, 2.5 hours away, drives up here and kills you. What do I think? How in the world would he find out where that place is? I couldn't even find it when they sent us there.
That's my fault.
Absolutely. What's it look like to me?
I know.
Let me tell you what it'll look like to a jury. This is all I do. It's all I've been doing for many years. Let me tell you what a jury's going to think. The same thing I am right now and the same thing you are.
No.
We've got some problems. You need to tell me why you're not an accomplice to this murder.
Why am I not?
Yeah.
Because I would never want Robert dead. I would never want him dead. Ever.
Yes, you did. You guys have been talking for weeks and weeks about how this is God's will. That you guys get together and marry. It's all God's will. It's almost every conversation of every day about how killing your husband and you two getting together is God's will. Bathsheba? Didn't we talk about that?
They had said,
Well, tell me that story. Tell me the story. Even about Bathsheba.
I don't know that. I don't know it.
You don't know that story? He says that's our life, and you went, yes.
Well, whatever I read,
You don't remember?
No, I don't remember.
He takes another man's wife and has her husband murdered, killed. From around here, it sounds to me like the woman fell in love with another man and had her husband killed.
I would never want Robert killed, ever.
When he told you that's him in the video, why were you not burning his phone up to tell you, I found out who killed my husband?
I mean, he said it looked like him.
Because your relationship with Jonathan is more important than your husband was.
No.
So you should have been tearing his phone up. Jonathan just told me that's him in the video. Okay? Why didn't we get that call?
Interrogators hammered. Why tell him where Rob was? Why not call us when he admitted the video was him? Her silence painted complicity stronger than words.
I asked him, I said,
Well, you don't need to ask him anything. Tell me why you didn't call us.
because he said it could have been planted. Like it could always.
There's no could have. Okay, that's not. It's a glass of water. It's not a house. It's not a car. I can't tell you that. Well, that could be a chair. It's a glass of water. I could be me in the video. What do you mean it could be you? It either is or is not. And if he's in the video, that's the video of the suspect. We all know that. You know that, don't you?
And
That guy in that video walked into the place where your husband was, it killed him, and then ran off. And he tells you that could be me in the video. What did you think? I'm more than confused here, Sabrina. I'm really telling you. I think you're flat in the middle of this murder. I think you set your husband up and had him killed by Jonathan so you two could be together. And I can tell you that's not going to happen, ever.
Yeah,
Okay? You need to get that through your head now. You are not going to be together. He's going to end up going to prison for the rest of his life. And I've got some serious doubts about you. Okay?
Okay. Understood.
There's no reason to tell your boyfriend exactly where your husband is working. Absolutely none. Right down to the building. What's the purpose? There can only be one. Tell me another one. I'm waiting. Tell me why you would tell him exactly where Rob's at. And he told you that could be me in the video. That should have been the end of it right there.
And then I told you that that was our suspect, and you didn't say anything. You know what I mean? I said, this is our suspect. No, okay. Digs up. That's Jonathan Hearn. So you didn't tell me anything.
I should have told you that. I should have. The black helmet. I did.
He never told you it was him in the video, Sabrina. You already knew it. Okay? He told you he did this, and he told you that because you guys wanted to be that he wants to be with you. You need to tell us now. If not, all we're left to think with is that you set this whole thing up. If you went and did something stupid, hey, you need to tell us now.
Well, you have it right there.
I don't have it. I want it out of your mouth because we've not done any truth out of your mouth. And if I don't start getting say, I'm left to believe exactly what I really believe. Somebody told him where Rob was. Exactly where Rob was. He would have killed him.
Sabrina struggled as detectives framed the jury's view. Betrayal, affair, murder. They warned her children and the world would soon know everything she'd hidden.
And you know, if we've been listening to what you guys have been talking about for weeks and weeks, what we've got. Okay?
Yeah, I understand.
So he comes down here and he purposely tells you we haven't got nothing just to see what you'll say. And you burn up the phone. They got nothing. Okay? We're okay. They ain't got nothing. What's it sound like? What will it sound like?
Well, he did say that yesterday. I don't know.
At what point did he tell you he shot Rob? And don't tell me he didn't. I know better.
He said that was him yesterday.
No. I ain't gonna cut it. Hey,
He never said he
you
shot.
think about 6 or 7 old ladies sitting on that jury, and this guy says, absolutely, that's me in the video. Huh? And they said, what happened? I don't know. She didn't cut it. She still, it took us, 15 minutes into an interview, they get her to say that. She didn't call us. Right? And the prosecutor says, folks, that's how much she cares about the husband. Okay? Her new boyfriend kills him, and she don't even care. And what will your kids think when they find out? And the whole world is going to find out in the next 3 days because all this paperwork goes public. Not a thing we can do about it. Okay? All kinds of stuff. Phone calls, everything. You want people hearing some of that stuff without explaining some of the stuff to us? No. Tell me when he told you he killed your husband, because he did and he told you. Okay? Or you knew it already. If he didn't tell you, you knew it already. And you knew it before he did it.
I didn't know.
Yet how did he find out where your husband is to go kill him?
It's my fault.
Yes, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Yes. When he asked about where your husband is, what do you think he's asking for? You go buy him a milkshake, say, hi, I'm doing your wife. But what do you think he's going to do? When did Jonathan tell you he did it? Don't tell me yesterday again.
He never came out.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. You guys are doing nothing but hiding this thing the whole time. Yes, he did.
No.
Well, what are you trying to hide?
I know. Okay, I know it doesn't look good.
No. There's a difference between does it look good and absolutely is not good. This is absolutely not good.
I understand that.
Fake.
I understand that. He never told me that he was going up there that day. I had told him, or Robert.
Why? We're still back to that one, and I'm still sitting here waiting for a reason why you would tell Jonathan where your husband is.
Jonathan's missing .45 matched Rob's wounds. Sabrina admitted she'd told him Rob's location long before the murder, sealing suspicion she'd enabled the deadly plan.
Are you going to come up with some answer between now and trial time?
They're going to see each other. So I could talk to him.
About what?
Why? That's why.
About what? What's he going to say? I got to know.
You know?
I'm sending my boyfriend to talk to my husband.
No, he never said he was.
What did you think he was going to do if he's asking about where Rob's at?
He didn't ask that day.
Why did you tell him?
I told him, like, prior in conversations.
Why?
He'd asked,
what?
I believe,
Gotcha.
about Tehachapi. Like, we just talked about, like, what Rob did and just talked.
You didn't ever what Rob did?
Yeah, but up in Tehachapi as a responder.
Okay, so why is it important for anybody in the world, really, to know exactly where Rob's at?
Well, from your now on the other side, I don't know.
Did you ask him, hey, Jonathan, don't you think it's odd that after I tell you where he's at, somebody goes over there and kills him? For no apparent reason?
I did say. They did have. What was the other questions?
What do you say? Oh, no, I didn't?
Yeah, he just said that's crazy.
And you believe him? Enough to stay with him, you did. Make the future plans. Start talking about how you're going to raise Rob's children with him.
Can't believe it.
Jonathan ever tell you about the handguns he owns? How many?
I just knew that he had one gun.
Talk about a 45 that he owned? 45 caliber?
I didn't know what kind it was.
He's got one and it's missing. Nobody can find it. Wonder where that's at. 10 caliber juice kill your husband. The only thing worse than keeping the murder weapon is getting rid of it when it's registered to you. Not being able to tell us where it's at. Oops, I lost it. Oops, I don't know where it's at. Oh, I forgot where I put it.
That's what he said.
You know what I mean? You know how stupid that sounds? But seriously, that's almost as believable as I told him exactly where he was at, and he ends up dead in that spot, and I don't think this guy killed him. Did you tell anybody else exactly where Rob was at that day?
Well, yeah, I mean, being in Tehachapi, you know. I didn't tell Jonathan, like, directions that day. It was prior, like we had talked about.
Her defense unraveled. Every explanation clashed with the facts. Detectives concluded she was in the middle of it all, enabling, covering, and never warning.
Months. It was months. I'd say probably months prior, and I'm want to remember how exactly our conversation went.
So how does Jonathan know he's there that day?
I had told him,
You told him Jonathan's at Hatchery.
no, Robert isn't.
Robert's at the Hatchery working. And that day he gets murdered, and you don't figure that out.
I had talked to John.
And you don't bother to tell him or anyone else, by the way, the day my husband is murdered, I told my boyfriend where he was. What's it sound like? What's it going to sound like?
I understand that.
I can go on and on with this thing, and that's going to happen at the trial. But I'm not going on much longer. And the rest of this you'll be going to hear later, and probably not what wish you have, ever. See? You didn't have any part of this thing, and we all think you did, or you wouldn't be here. You need to start figuring out how to convince us that you didn't know. I told you, if he did something stupid, and you didn't know he did it, and you had nothing to do with planning it, hey, and he says, sorry, honey, I had to do this for us to be together. Whatever he did, whatever he told you, you need to tell us now.
Yeah, I
Okay?
understand. Just
So if you're going to stick to this, yesterday he finally told me he killed my husband. Basically.
well, these conversations have been the same, since.
No, they haven't. No, they change drastically all the time. The only major theme is God wants you two to be together, according to him. And God sees everything and knows everything. What did God see the day Rob got killed? Same thing we saw. Jonathan's motorcycle leaving the crime scene. Okay? I mean, who's he think he's fooling? Who are you guys fooling here? I don't get it. Trust me, Sabrina, I've never talked to anybody yet that thought they wouldn't get away with it, or you wouldn't do it. Everybody does. It's all well planned. All of it.
Yeah.
All of the interviews are rehearsed on the phone with him. Yeah, we listened to them. They were impressive. I'm going to tell you exactly what to say and not say, and we're going to Google DNA and Google all this stuff to make sure that we're not giving them enough information to find out. See? But that stuff we already knew.
Yeah.
So before this thing comes to an end, okay, I'm going to ask you one more time. Jonathan tell you he killed your husband?
He never told me that.
Out of patience, police booked Sabrina for conspiracy to murder, but lacking hard proof, they released her, leaving her free as investigators chased dead ends.
Did he fire it just all led up to all the things that he'd said? Led up to. Back to you.
What?
Hello. If you don't have anything for us, I think we need to get you to jail. I'll take that as a yes, I do not have anything to tell you. Is that fair? Is that pretty fair?
I said everything to me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you told him the same thing that you told me, only I wasn't patient for 4 hours. I was kind of trying to move it along after about an hour of listening to you tell me nothing. He's a lot nicer than me, a lot more patient. So what I need you to do is I need you to stand up in front of Rob.
Two years later, Jonathan flipped, testifying Sabrina plotted Rob's death, even tried poisoning him. In 2018, she was convicted. Sentence, 25 years to life.